All right. Well, this is episode number 8. I haven't really named this podcast yet. I wanted to get a few, maybe even a dozen or so, kind of floating around before I gave it a brand. But I wanted to let you know this is episode number 8. This is the first episode that I'm doing from my home office instead of on the road. And it has presented itself as a little challenge. We get back into our element and we snap back into those habits that were normally that are just there. And part of that was not doing a podcast. But also part of what has kept me on task is creating a list. I think that lists are a great breaker of procrastination, especially if you can attach a date to that list. I've seen tons of books. I've read tons of books on how to create lists, how to create habits, how to do these things. I haven't found one that kind of gets everything that I want to do or that I can actually just adopt. So I'm in the process of kind of adopting several different ones and trying to make it my own. But I highly recommend doing something to help you stay organized, and lists are a great way to start. You can take a notebook if you're a check-off type of person. Write down your top priorities. I wouldn't go more than 3 to 5 top priorities in a day. A lot of times people put them in the quadrants of urgent and not important, important but not urgent, and those kind of things. But when it comes down to it, you need to take care of your clients. So I always put my top priority as client projects. After that, it's whatever projects that I have going on, like this podcast. So my podcast was number 2 as far as I downloaded all of the footage that I created for the first 7 days of my podcasts and organized them into day 1, day 2, day 3. And through this week, I'm going to be editing. That's hard to say. I'm going to be editing them and adding some stuff to it and so forth. But I wanted to kind of have a library of completed podcasts before I launch them live, or launch them, they're going to be recorded, but launch them, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any gaps. So this is day 8. I'm going to call this one Organizing in the Middle of Chaos. This morning when I got first day back, there was lots of distractions, lots of things to kind of pull me in all kinds of different directions. Without a list and without that plan and that journey and that destination in mind, I would have definitely not even done this today. I would have said, I just don't have time, and occupied my time with other things. But I believe that this podcast is very important. I believe in getting it completed, getting it started, getting better at doing it myself, getting more disciplined about it, doing it myself, and so that I can help my clients and other people that are struggling with the same thing of feeling like I don't have anything to say, I don't know how to say it. I listen to a podcaster all the time that talk about how they have this feeling of being a fraud, or that they don't really, what they're doing is not of value and things like that. But it's up to the audience to determine that. So I'm going to try to be as authentic as I possibly can, as well as trying to be as transparent as I possibly can, by letting you know I'm brand new at this. I've been in marketing and design for over 20 years, but doing podcasts is a real new challenge for me, and it's a very struggling challenge for me. So, but I believe that this is the direction that everything is going, and I'm trying to become more accustomed to doing this, even past all my insecurities. So I hope that helps, that that if you feel very intimidated about doing a podcast or any kind of on-air presentation or journal, as we're going to call these, everybody feels that way. I am totally right there in that. So, but today's podcast is on lists. Like I said, you can do it if you like to check off things. A lot of people like just the handwritten notebook where they can just check off things and move over things to the next day that didn't get accomplished this day. There's so many options that sometimes we have that a paralysis of analysis, or that shiny new object, oh, well, how will this handle my to-do list? I'm kind of in that boat right now. I have several programs that offer a very robust to-do list, agenda, alerts, alarms, repeated tasks, things like that make it very difficult, and they all do it really well. So it's very difficult for me right now to kind of focus on one. So I'm in the middle of focusing on the handwritten to-do list, putting it in my Google Calendar as just an alert. I use a program called Monday.com or Monday app, which is a very robust project management system / CMR / automations, things like that. And then always back to my Notion. Notion offers a very robust activities and to-do list with alerts and everything else, as well as the other ones. So I'm just trying to figure out which one is best for kind of my overall, and that I'm going to stick with for an X amount of time before I make my judgment. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a commitment here that I'm going to make that my Monday app. So that is going to be my new to-do list provider for at least the next 6 months. So I'll keep you up on how that's going, some of the new things I find about it, and how it integrates with all my other agendas and content marketing's calendars and things like that. So, but I didn't want today to go undocumented, I guess you could say. I have no script. I'm trying to figure that part out too. I'm not a script kind of guy. So going off a script, I know that I tend to ramble if I don't. So I'm going to kind of maybe hit something in the middle with an outline or bits and pieces, or I haven't figured that part out yet. But today is totally unscripted, totally just sit down in front of the camera and spill my guts. So that's what's been going on. It's Monday, May the 6th. So this is my day 8 on my new podcast, and I really would appreciate you guys' comments on what you'd like to see on here. I would like to keep our segments down to 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure this one's gone over. I may trim it down, but around 5 to 10 minutes is where I'm headed for. I may change that relatively fast when we start getting into some meat of contributor information and success stories and how-tos and things like that. I want it to be very consumable. So I want everything to be actionable, consumable, and to where we can even hold each other accountable on a daily basis or weekly basis of what we're trying to accomplish. I want to help you guys accomplish your goals while you guys are helping me by giving me feedback and helping me to know what comes next. I've put a lot of feelers out this week, or today actually, for new contributors, success stories. Some of my strategic partners are going to be doing interviews with me, everything from leadership to commercial property to lending money, those kind of things. So I hope you'll stay with me, and I look forward to day number 9. Have a great day.